पहले तो मेरी श्रद्धांजलि और मेरा नमन शहीदों को, जिन्होंने यहाँ अपना जीवन, यहीं आसपास अपना जीवन बलिदान किया। नमन उन सुरक्षा कर्मियों को, पुलिस कर्मियों को, जिनकी मदद से बहुत से जीवन बच पाए। उस वक्त कुछ ऐसा हुआ था कि हम सब लोग एक तरह के सन्नाटे में आ गए थे और एक पल के लिए मुझे लगा था कि शायद एक ऐसा घाव है जिस घाव को हमें थोड़ी देर तक देखना चाहिए। We take a lot of pride in moving on. Especially we talk about Mumbai. When we talk about Mumbai, we say the show must go on, and Mumbai is known for it, its resilience. But what made me think at that time, and why I wrote what I wrote that time, was that is it resignation or is it resilience? कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हमें लगता है कुछ नहीं हो सकता, और शायद एक पल के लिए ठहरना जरूरी है। We take a lot of pride in the fact that we have dialogues, we create dialogue, we talk about things, we talk about issues. But the danger with having a dialogue sometimes is that it can become an end in itself. And it can give you a quasi-satisfaction of having done something. उस पर भी सवाल उठाने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि क्या हम इतना बात कर लेते हैं किसी चीज के बारे में that the actions are not taken. And that's very important. और जब हम डायलॉग करते हैं, are we fair? Or we are having a bunch of people who are having a dialogue amongst themselves? I feel that there's probably a disconnect out there. I think a few are privileged to have the art of having a conversation and having an argument. Few have been privileged to have a certain education and mastered the art of having great arguments. But are we having a dialogue? Or is it, or are there a lot of people who are not part of this dialogue? It's very important not to take undue advantage of having facility with dialogue.
The cowardly attacks on this day, 9 years ago, that occurred at various places across our city, including at the landmark just across the street. 9 years ago on this day, these attacks were to me a wake-up call. But the question I asked myself was, wake up, yes, but wake up to what? I woke up to a new era of violence, a new kind of violence, a violence that was inflicted by terrorism. I woke up to the fact that terrorism is not an ideology. It is an act of scaring peaceful people, an act of evoking the fear of sudden, untimely death. It is an act of negotiating at the point of a gun. Terrorism is not an act of faith. Terrorism can never replace another ideology. And there is before us a true evidence of that. Ladies and gentlemen, the same children who held the same guns and ammunition in the trenches of Afghanistan to fight a foreign invader of their land the same children who were paid wages and salaries to kill and be killed in those battles became professional mercenaries after they began to use the same training and weapons out of hatred, malice, and vengeance. Whatever political rhetoric may say, terrorism is neither a form of justice nor even an instrument of justice. It is the whimsical randomness of evil. So how does an unarmed, peaceful humanity fight the fear of terrorism's sudden violence? How does anyone who believes in a life of merit and hard work begin to believe in the authority of guns and bombs? Will armed mercenaries decide the future of our children? Will the threat of violence decide what is right or wrong, good or bad? Will terror decide what is true, false, correct, incorrect, good, bad, and right or wrong? No. Terror does no such thing. Terror does not decide anything. Terror only hopes to establish the bluff that evil can be stronger than natural humanity, that hate is mightier than love. It is now for each one of us to decide if we want our children to accept this evil doctrine, or show our children that terror does not have a place in our hearts. An estimated 20 lakh people were killed during the partition of this country in 1947. And several times more than that were displaced. When people are divided by distrust, when friends and neighbors stop trusting each other, when a nation turns into hostile islands of random fear, then our world is broken into fragments, broken by narrow domestic walls. This is precisely what terror aims to achieve. Terror does not preserve anything. It is designed to destroy. Once unleashed, terror cannot be stopped by a debate. An act of terror, therefore, is not open to negotiations or to wisdom. It can only be repelled, repulsed, and destroyed by a more powerful reaction.